Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to WCTV. Joe Cirillo with you to go over another one of our senior spotlights here, celebrating all of the seniors on the department floor and sending them off with their exit interview. We are joined by Meg Barry here, the general manager of the department for WCTV. We're very excited to be sitting down with her.
Thanks.
So my first question to you is, why Waynesburg and why the Department of Communication?
Yeah. So when I was looking at schools, I was down between three: Point Park, Waynesburg, and DePauw University. It's in Greencastle, Indiana. And all three of those schools were recruiting me for track. So that was honestly one of the big reasons why. But also on top of that is all three of them had really strong comm departments. I didn't like Point Park because they pointed at a building and they were like, here's your such and such classroom. And I was like, that's a skyscraper. That's not a classroom. And then I liked DePauw. I loved that college. I really wanted to go there. But they told me I would have had to craft my own major, basically. And I would have had to like mix theater classes in with like sports classes, and I was like, I don't want to do theater. So then Waynesburg was kind of icing on top of the cake when I got the Bonner Scholarship as well. But when I came here and I toured, it was my junior year. It was before COVID. It was October of my junior year, and I toured the campus and it was beautiful. I fell in love with it the minute I got here. It was, you guys know how it is in the fall with the trees and everything. It's just so pretty. So I fell in love when I got here. But what was even more amazing, I toured the floor, and Lanny for Terry was not here that day. Lanny was not here, but however, he called me. I only live like an hour away from here, so by the time I had gotten home, he calls me and was like, I'm so sorry I didn't see you today. Like, I don't work on such and such a day. Here's why we want you to come here. And like immediately like made it very personal, and I really liked that like personal connection from the start. Like, it's not like I had to fight for it or anything like that. Like, they proved to me here at Waynesburg that your professors will create those connections with you. So then why comm? I actually wanted to do biology, believe it or not.
You're crazy.
I know. I wanted to do like NCIS type stuff like that you see in the TV shows, like forensic biology and stuff like that. And my freshman year of high school, I took honors biology and honors communication at the same time. I quickly found out I like honors communication and not honors biology. So I decided to go into the world of communications. I didn't know what I wanted to do at the time. And then by the time I got to my sophomore year, I told my mom that I wanted to be the first face that people saw when they turned their TVs on in the morning. And yeah, the rest is history from there. I decided that going more of a sports route was more for me, since sports has been like my entire life. But yeah.
You mentioned before that you are a Bonner Scholar, one of the scholarships that they have here on campus, one of the ones that is more in the service aspect of the university, and then you've been doing that for 4 years, along with being on the indoor and outdoor track and field team.
Yeah.
Just run me through how that has been, being a competitor, being a service member, and then also being a member of the department.
Yeah, it's very long days. My planner is my best friend. I never double booked myself until fall semester of my senior year, which is crazy. Because I don't know how I stayed that organized, but I did. But I love track. I really do. Track is my passion, and when the day comes where I hang up my javelin and I hang up my spikes, it's going to be a really hard day for me. But just being able to come here and be involved in an environment where you're around people who are just as passionate about the sport was really amazing as well, because at the Division III level, you're not getting paid, you're not getting a scholarship to do it. So everybody who's on the team just wants to be there. They're passionate about it. So that was really nice. Bonner, I've always been called to serve. I feel like God has always called me to serve. Even when I was in high school, I was heavily involved with like the Special Olympics Foundation and things of that nature. So I really feel like I always had this calling to serve people, and I really get a lot of joy from it. Life is super crazy in college, especially when you're in a department like the comm department, where you do shows and live productions and you write articles and you interview people outside of the classroom work. So you're doing like double the work. And because of that, you really need to find that balance to step away. And Bonner was my opportunity to step away from my academic life to just serve the people of Waynesburg and to impact their lives. And so I'm really thankful for that opportunity. And then even here within the comm department, when you're just looking at the department as a whole, there's so many opportunities. There's the radio, the television station, there's the live productions with Woosen, there's the Yellow Jacket Design Club. Like, there's so many opportunities to get involved with. And I'm very thankful that quite literally my second day of college, I was already involved. So it's really nice to already have those opportunities straight out the gate. But to balance all of it, get a planner. I would recommend getting a planner. So yeah.
You touched on a few different memories on like why Waynesburg, why comm, but what is like a favorite memory that you've made? Maybe it's a few of them outside of the department, maybe inside of the department, that you're just going to cherish forever.
Yeah. So my favorite memory outside of the department has to do with Bonner. Last year, we had a fall retreat, or actually 2 years ago, it was my sophomore year. We had a fall retreat, and what we did on Friday was we went to Farley's off of High Street. It's an ice cream place, and it's only open on Fridays. And we went to Farley's, and in this place, they have like a game room, a karaoke room. They have like an outside patio area. Like, it's really nice in there. And so we're in the karaoke room, and me, Tyreek Williams, and Kai Herbert were screaming at the top of our lungs the song Love. I don't know who it's by, but we were screaming that song at the top of our lungs, and it was just pure joy in that moment. It was really fun. And then me and those guys ended up getting really close, and along with Logan Lepiscopo, we all got baptized together last year. So definitely those connections are super important to me. But then my favorite memory within the department would be from this year. There's two of them that I have that come to mind. After my last football call versus Teal, everything leading up to that game went wrong. Everything that possibly could have gone wrong went wrong. But once we got it all ironed out, we figured everything out, the game was so good. The production was really good. And being able to announce with one of my very close friends, Seth Adams, that was a really great time. And then to just see the family and the connection that we have in the department, like a bunch of people, I know you, Joey, were one of them. You guys did the Wiley walk. You ran up the bleachers to give me a hug, like after I finished that call. And it's very important to me, and it's super nice to like see those connections that you make. And then the other one that is another core memory for me here is the first ever time I was on Jacket Sports Weekly, which I'm a little biased. Jacket Sports Weekly is like my baby. I produced that show when I was a junior, but my first ever time on Jacket Sports Weekly, I was on for an indoor track and field analyst. That's what I was on for. And I didn't know it, but not only was I giving analysis about the team, but I was also being interviewed. So looking back on it, I was like, oh my gosh, this was horrible. Like, I was not prepared. But it was also like a really good time just to know that they had confidence in me. The seniors at the time who ran the show like had confidence in me to, as a freshman, be an analyst on the show. So that was really cool. And I really appreciate how my memories go all the way back to my freshman year too. And a lot of colleges and universities, you don't have that opportunity to create memories like that so early on in your career.
Glad you didn't mention anything about Freebird, if you know what I'm talking about. You know. Outside of that, what is next for you outside of this? Graduation is in 19 days. I know you are counting down.
Yes,
I'm not happy that you're counting down. However,
19 days. 19 days as of today. We are filming this. It is April 15th. So
19 days. What is next for you?
Yeah, so next for me, I have about a month off from graduation until I start my job. In that month period, I will still be competing in track and field with Waynesburg University. I will still be throwing javelin, hopefully, God willing, qualifying for the national meet at the end of May. But also in that time period, I will be moving to Wheeling, West Virginia. I accepted a job with the news station down there, WTRF, Channel 7. So I will be moving to Wheeling, and I will be a multimedia journalist, and I will also be training to be a weekend anchor as well.
Very nice.
So, yeah.
What is some advice that you want to give to current communication students or future?
Yeah, so advice that I would give, and it's the same thing I told everybody when we had our kickoff meeting for WCTV this year. It's the piece of advice that I gave when I stepped into the role as the general manager for WCTV, and that piece of advice would be to be a Swiss Army knife. Be able to do it all. Be able to operate a camera, be able to set up a camera, be able to use the teleprompter to direct, to produce, to be on air, but to do everything behind the scenes as well. Know how to do news, know how to do entertainment, know how to do sports. Quite literally, know how to do it all. The more you know how to do, the more applicable and the more important you are to the field as a whole. So that's my professional advice. My more personal advice, and for the people who know me, is to stay rooted in your faith. Know that through all the hard times, college has a lot of ups and downs, and there's a lot of moments where you're like, I don't even want to do this anymore. But stay rooted in your faith, stay close to God, and all those things will happen naturally. One Bible verse that really got me through college is Matthew chapter 6, verse 34. And it's, for do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough troubles of its own. And that is something I would encourage each and every one of the current comm department students, but also the incoming comm students, to focus on the moment that you live in. You'll notice up here in the department, it gets really busy really fast. Things get crazy, things get chaotic, and the next thing you know, you don't have a free hour in your day. But it's really important to just live in the moment that God has blessed you with, to not focus too far into the future, and to just enjoy each one of those moments, and don't wish your time away. High school goes fast, but college goes faster. So enjoy it while it lasts, and just honestly, just stay close to God throughout it all.
Well, from the Department of Communications, we thank you very much for everything that you have done. Thank you for sitting down with myself. From me, thank you for being an amazing friend and an amazing mentor. But that is going to do it all for us. Meg Barry in her exit interview, that is going to do it all for us in this Senior Spotlight episode.
This has been a production of Waynesburg Community Television.